Hello, my name is Caleb Casa with the Minnesota High School Football Network, and we're going to be launching something called the Minnesota High School Football Program Check-In. This is going to be a podcast that's going to check in with programs and coaches around the state of Minnesota. Now, my vision for this is hopefully we get more and more programs involved and just get more and more programs in the public eye. Obviously, we're starting in Forest Lake, but we're going to be able to do these podcasts/interviews, whether it's in person like it is today or online or Zoom option. Kicking off this series up north in Ranger territory, we're in Forest Lake. This is actually where I played my high school ball. We're going to be interviewing Coach Beeskow. Coach Beeskow has been a Forest Lake head coach for going on 3 years now. He took over the program after it struggled in 2021, and it's been on the come up ever since. So without further ado, let's get into the interview with Coach Beeskow. All right, I'm here with Coach Beeskow, and in the intro I said this was your third year in Forest Lake. Is that correct?
It is, yep, third year.
Okay, and I guess how has it been since walking in? What's been like your vision, and what is it now?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, when we got here, we knew kind of who we had and the type of culture that, we could establish here with the work theme, the culture that we kind of brought in, and the kids have really ran with that. So to go from that first year when you're just getting to know people and get your face out there in the community and kind of talk to guys and get that first senior class under your belt that really, welcomed us and brought us in. And now we're getting to that point where we're in year 3 and the culture's established and a lot of the guys are back for their third year, and they started as a sophomore, and now they're going to be a senior. And then even those groups like our junior class right now, that grade's only had us when they were freshmen, and then all the way to now. So it's been fun for them to just kind of see them grow the culture as well.
What's like the pivotal point? Our coaches have like this point in the program where they kind of like envision a turn, and when you took over this program, it wasn't as successful as it is now. So what's kind of like your vision even going forward in year 3?
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. I think we've been talking a lot about getting over the hump. Like we've done a good job regular season, first playoff games, and then we get to that section championship, and now we're 0 for 2 in those section championship games. So to get to that point, obviously is great to get there, but now can we get over that hump? So this would be the year that I would say it's time to take that jump now, and obviously there's a lot of work to do to get there. Through the regular season and through the playoffs and the seed that you get and all that stuff too. But for us to get hopefully back to that section championship game and take that next step to get into the state tournament would be a big goal of ours.
I think one of the biggest storylines, I guess, in your team that I've kind of seen, just go into some 7-on-7s and stuff, is the quarterback position. Connor left. There's a Cole.
Yeah, Cole from last year. Yep.
Connor's his brother. I get them mixed up. But now we have kind of this open slot or unknown going into the summer and fall. And of course, you knew what you had, but I think from the public eye, we kind of don't. And going, is Connor the guy, I guess, that's going to be behind center?
Yep. So Connor Johnson won our quarterback job. He's done a great job, obviously leading his teammates and with his play on the field, off the field. He's a great leader. He's a great person. He's a 4.0 GPA kid. And, we had a good battle kind of all summer long with a couple guys. Obviously, we had a senior that played a little bit last year in Bo, and Bo's done a good job of, bringing Connor along as well and being a really good teammate and being ready for any opportunity that he has. We had a couple other guys that, had opportunities throughout the summer, a sophomore, another junior that had their opportunities. And from there, Connor's the one who really kind of stuck out and took the job over, and he's done a great job leading his teammates so far. So we're excited what he can do this year.
Have you ever had kind of a junior quarterback where you're looking at it for more of like a 2-year thing? A lot of the times you kind of have this chosen senior person, the senior quarterback that you're only going to have for 1 year. Do you kind of like getting to have him, or hypothetically for 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, there's some benefits to it for sure. I've had that before. When I was at Holy Angels, I had both of our quarterbacks were 2-year starters, a junior year and then a senior year, a junior year and then a senior year. At Augsburg, I had a couple multi-year guys, but you're never going into it like this kid's only going to start because he's a sophomore. He's only going to start because he's a junior or a senior. Obviously, you give everybody the opportunity to do it, and then whoever makes the most plays, whoever knows the playbook, whoever leads, the guys, down the field and even on and off the field stuff too. too. So obviously there's some really, really good things about Connor being a junior and about us having hopefully a 2-year quarterback and kind of going from there. But you never go into it thinking it's only going to be this guy. You always kind of give everybody that look. And if it's a senior, it's a senior. There's a good thing about a senior that's going to go out and do it. It's his last year. It's his, one last shot at that. So you got multiple different options when we go there. And that's not, we've seen it with last year. When you go through these football seasons, anything can happen. So you got to keep everybody ready, whether it's the guy that starts game one, the guy that comes in a little bit later or whatever it is too. Hopefully you hope you go without injuries all year, but you just never know what's going to happen. So you got to keep everybody ready.
Let's flip over onto the other side of the ball. Let's talk about Howe Johnson, one of the best 2026 recruits in Minnesota. How much does he kind of embody the culture that you want, and just what's it being like him just around like games, practices, stuff like that?
Yeah, he's everything you can think of when it comes to the work culture, right? He's the guy that goes to the weight room and he goes to his classes and he does the community service and he works at concessions, or he goes to elementary schools if we need him to, or whatever it is. He's a captain for us already as a junior, and it's not just because he led the state in TFLs last year. Like, obviously those things are great. That on-field production is what you're looking for, but at the same time, to be a leader, to truly embody what the work culture means, that's what has gotten him where he is. And he's obviously extremely talented. He's got the talent in his body, but he also has made his body what it is. He's also become, stronger and faster and more fit and in better shape. And he's kind of embodied what that means to all of our off-season stuff. So to see him up in the weight room, to see him going to the state tournament, to the state track meet, like stuff like that too, it really gets him ready for the year. And he knows he still has more in his game, which is really, really cool to see. He's obviously a great player already, but just know that he can get even more out of his game is what he's looking for this year. And it also, it gives other guys around him other opportunities too. If he's going to be taking any double teams, there's linebackers that are going to be free to make plays. He knows he's going to get his, and he's going to continue to try to work that, but he's also a total team guy, which is awesome, and that's the kind of leader he is as well.
Looking ahead to week one, we're recording this in the kind of lead up to week one, midweek. What are you seeing from Prior Lake? How much has changed? I know I wasn't able to make last year's game, but I think it was a lower scoring game and it was a tight one. Are you expecting the same thing?
Yeah, they're a great program, and they have been for a long time. They do things right. They're strong. They're weight room. They tackle well. They block well. They're explosive at times. And so, like you said, we had a close, tight one with them last year. We lost 7-6 down at their place. We went for 2 at the end of the game to try to win it. Just missed that opportunity, and our guys are kind of ready for that, and knowing that it's going to be that type of tight battle again, knowing that they're going to do what they do offensively, defensively, going to run the football, going to make some plays in the pass game, going to be opportunistic on defense and try to get turnovers and takeaways and that kind of stuff as well. So we're ready for a battle always. You're ready for kind of a dogfight with those types of teams, and you always got to give them their respect because they're a really good football team, but we know that we're a really good football team too.
Talk about, we were away last year, now they're coming here. Just talk about the atmosphere and what kind of Mike Hennon, our athletic director's done to kind of like make it an environment for you guys to actually have like a home field advantage.
Right. Yeah, and I definitely think we do have a home field advantage. There's something to be said about being home in front of these fans and this atmosphere. And, we've always heard, even before I was here, that Forest Lake was a football culture. There was always people at the games. There was always people that were excited about what was going on out in Friday nights and watching that. And then Hennon got here, I think in 2018, and when they built the stadium and everything just got beautiful out there. And now, of course, we've been successful on the field as well, and that helps. So to get more and more people at the crowd. We're expecting crowds of 3,000 to 5,000 people at each game, which is awesome. It's big crowds out there, and it kind of creates that atmosphere that high school footballers want to play. The experience is there to make it a good experience for them, and we're also excited that other teams that come in now have to deal with that. They have to deal with it being loud. They have to deal with our student section. They have to deal with the drive out here where we play, the fans that are in the crowd, and then of course the physical brand of football that we play as well. So it's going to be a fun time. We always like to play in front of our home crowd. We love everybody to come. It's also youth night. It's going to be our first game of the year's youth night, where all of our grades come out. 4th through 8th grade football are going to come out and be ready to go, and our kids are excited about that and ready for sure.
We'll end it with this, and this is going to be broad, and you might not want to answer it, but Forest Lake will be successful, or you will deem this a successful season if fill in the blank.
I love that question. I think it's a successful season if we have a good experience, right? If we put the best product on the field for the kids, for the fans, for the families. And to me, obviously, winning is a part of that. That's the result that you're looking for. But the process of how we get there is what I always talk to our kids about. And can we enjoy the meetings? Can we enjoy the film? Can we enjoy the lifting? Can we enjoy the practices? We're obviously successful the longer that we keep playing. So that's the process of it all to get there. Obviously, our kids want to go to state. That's always their main goal, no matter what. When you get into a season, they think success breeds on that. I always tell them that success isn't necessarily the wins and losses. It's the process of how we get there. I'm enjoying every single one of our kids at every level with our 6 levels of football, 9A, 9B, 10A, 10B, JV, varsity. Obviously, I think the wins will come and the wins are, going to be there for them, but it's the process that's been really fun so far. And so to me, that's what deems a successful season. Are we enjoying the process and are we doing the right things to get those wins?
Well, thank you for joining me on this midnight edition. It's really late just because we had storms, but I appreciate you taking the time.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.